morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to your daily dose of Capsule Machina. Today we're working inside of the Toppo BJ, and today we're going to attempt to install ETC reader along with a radio, stereo. Again, I'll reference Mindy Imports video. He goes through a real quick process of changing this out with a new Toto. So my battery's dying on this Gambon. Sweet. I'll turn it off. Figured I'd try it because I had it, and here we go. Still having to hold it. The phone. So 4 screws, very straight up. I have the stereo over there that was bought via Amazon Prime Day, so we'll give it a whirl. The screen's a little bit bigger, so David didn't really go into detail on how he put that on there, but I have an idea, so we'll take it as it goes. Still waiting for that pulley holding apparatus tool so I can torque down the harmonic balancer pulley's bolt, so I can fire this up and do everything else I need to do. Spark plugs are done. There's coolant, but in order for me to top it off, I have to have the car warmed up. Order some transmission fluid. So I got to eventually do that. I did the oil change. Going to eventually do the brake fluid as well and the power steering fluid. So I figured might as well do something. Keep doing something. Keep moving forward, as I say. So we'll see. By the end of this video, we might have an ETC reader that's hooked up, and because I'm that guy. Found this Mitsubishi on eBay. So Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Limited. There's that other piece to it. I don't know if this makes a sound. I don't know if it talks to you. Truth be told, I mean, typically you would have like a speaker that's connected to this. It doesn't look like there's a speaker to it, and it doesn't look like there's anything here. But I'm gonna hook it up anyways because I bought it. All right, I'm gonna have to remove this. It works, AM radio. I couldn't find any cassettes. I just don't have any. So I'm gonna take that out. 4 screws, slides right out, unclip it, and then transfer the wiring to that harness, and then plug everything back in. It should be that easy. And then I have to hook up the ETC wires, which are only 2 to power this thing. One's negative and one's power to the switch there. So find the negative, plug it into that, find the switch, plug it into that, and I'm gonna run it. Here's my center console. I'm gonna stick it right in there. So I just drill a hole right down in there and feed the wire through. Should be pretty straightforward. All right, update you as I move on. All right, here's the moment of truth. So I hooked everything up. This was actually a harness from the Delica. So all these little tags here in Japanese. Thank you, Google Translate, for helping me figure that all out, because I had to figure out which one was constant and then ACC or switch power. The red was the switch power, and this is constant. Blue's always going to be antenna, and orange in this case was the backlight illumination. All that stuff's right there on this diagram for the little stereo I got. As far as mounting it, it came with this sleeve, and I'm going to use that because really what I can do, and this is all theory because I haven't done it yet, put this on and then, you know, wire it up and then slide it in. In theory, that should work. So that way I know it's not going to sit flush because there's a little bit of a rounded area here. Because I tried it out already, it kind of sticks out, but when in all reality, it'll sit there nicely, good enough, you know. And then the ETC, so I plugged it, or I connected it to the switch. So I kind of added a little bit of thing here, wire here, and then did it that way. I mean, I could have got one of those stupid splice things, but I don't care for those. So hooked it up to that, and then that's gonna be my ground over here, just screwed right into that. So I'm gonna turn it on and we'll see what happens, okay? Oh snap. Okay. Oh yeah. So it works. Sweet. Test complete. So I'm gonna button everything back up, reverse order. Like I said, I'm gonna mount this ETC reader down in this cubby. I don't have cup holders like some of the other Toppos have this little additional cup holder. So this is a real big space. I figured some double-sided tape and drill a hole right down back here, 2 holes, and that way I can feed those 2 wires to it, and it'll kind of be tucked in underneath all this. All the wiring would be, and be nice and clean, and not like how they do it in Japan where there's just stuff hanging out of everywhere, you know. So I will update you when I get this all buttoned up. Well, here's the finished-ish product. As you can see, it doesn't sit super flush, but again, I'm not striving for absolute. It does stick out. I mean, you can see it pretty good amount. I think I might have already scuffed it up just putting it in, but you know, it is what it is. That's hooked up, and I ran it like I said. I had to drill a hole back there, and then I got to double-sided tape this thing, so it's in there. I don't really need to put this sensor thing on, but you know, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it all the way. But that means I would have to run it underneath and then around and up, and then tape it up there in the corner. That's my idea, at least that's my plan. One thing I forgot to mention is this thing does come with the rear camera, and you know, it's kind of, I mean, come on, it's a K car, so I can reach my hand back there and kind of touch the bumper. It's great. It's not that far, but if I do decide to hook it up, at least it's wired in. You know, it's already plugged in, it's connected to where it needs to. So that's that. So let's turn it on again and see what it looks like. So I'm going to try and hook this all up and see if it plays music and all that. Phone link and CarPlay, insert mobile phone. How does that, what? I'll figure this out and we'll see what happens. But so far so good. The radio is pretty decent. Bluetooth. I'll have to see if I can connect to that. YouTube music. No song supported, so on and so forth. So I'll connect and see what happens. All right. So that's basically it. I got to finish buttoning it up. Make sure it's not, you know, all these loose wires aren't flopping around. I didn't have to use the original bracket. I used the sleeve that it came with. Does it hold it 100%? No, it's kind of loose, and I still have to kind of figure that out, but it doesn't come out all the way. And I think for right now, I got it all hooked up. If I don't know if I can actually hook up those brackets to this without, you know, sacrificing how this goes in. So we shall see. If I have to modify that sleeve to push it out a little bit so that way it clicks into place and pushes it right up against the what you call it here, the console, then so be it. But that's a pretty successful install, I like to think. All right, till the next thing. Stay tuned for these other adventures and a lot more adventures with this Toppo as soon as I get it started. All right, thanks for watching.